going to call Deputy Van Catwick to make his maiden speech.
Thank you, sir. This day of Budlow's Eve, a pagan ritual that once marked a year's end with cleansing fire, I stand against this budget. I stand today against the budget for the fundamental reason that over many years the states of deliberation have operated with underlying structural deficit. They have no business with watching years tick by and reserves drain dry while continuing to outspend revenue. I was 19 when I first wrote a manifesto and stood for the honoured position of State's Deputy. The year was 2008, the long-awaited 010 had finally and fully been introduced. Our reserves were in the hundreds of millions, but there are already whispers of a lurking black hole. Now, Deputy St. Pierre opened the debate with a sense of deja vu from 2013. 2013, over a decade later, and here we are, but once again, but still. Here we are, bank accounts drying out, spiralling structural deficit, and members of P&R justifying borrowing by framing it as a way for future generations to pay for the services and infrastructure that we hope they will one day enjoy. Here we are in a cost of living crisis, threatening to plunge households 5% further into despair. Here we are. Why? Partly because the option for a consumption tax was always part and parcel of 010. Previous iterations of this assembly, true Austin Powers style, did little but watch the steamroller advance. It beggars belief to hear presidents and committees stand in the sitting of the states, promising to make cuts a year down the line. Just need another year. And to hear long-serving members say, we just didn't have the time. We did not have the time to prioritise those struggling to buy a first property, but we did have the time to prioritise those who buy a second property. Deputy Hansman himself, you pleaded with us not to vote for the Sloan Camp Amendment. This is not the way to make real change. We must work within the rules. I expect nothing less from the President's sack, but I ask, where have these rules got us over the past 20 years? Some will say that to seriously stand against the budget is to risk a state of emergency. Well, let me tell you that this is already an emergency. Guernsey's sons, daughters, fathers, mothers, even grandparents are leaving their island home in droves because they cannot afford to live here. This is an emergency. To accept this budget is to hammer the final nail in the coffin. And let me tell you, more than 5% of local family members will be locked inside. I applaud Deputy Inder for bringing to light the mammoth rises in budgets in the past 7 years. I'm sure that deputies will continue to tell us, speculate to accumulate. But what exactly have we accumulated since 2008? When I look at this budget, I see 160,000 to 320,000 income tax caps for states that refuses to tax the rich their fair share. I see the scrapping of 2% document duty on anything but principal properties, masquerading as a stimulus for the rental market, the states that refuse first-time buyers' help. I see rise in petrol tax while those who can afford to go green go on using our roads on the cheap, the states that don't care. I see a state which lasts in the face of spiralling costs by refusing to dramatically curtail public spending, states resigned to squeezing more out of its struggling population before getting its own house in order, states unwilling to seriously tackle the structural deficit of precariously balanced the precipice of austerity chasm. I see no other option but to ask my fellow deputies to declare a state of emergency, stand against this budget, and help put an end to 2 decades of madness. Let us show the population the state's finally willing to make the hard decisions, protect our hardworking families and their future.